Right on, and welcome back to the Wreckless podcast. This is Chef Cody Storts, otherwise known as Cody is Just Fine. Eric Fuller and Dave, the man, the myth, the legend, bringing us the goods and the drinks, man.
Yep.
On to what's up, dude. Like, so this Chardonnay, I'm eager to try it. We poured it now. It seems like it got a little warmer, which means that it's time to drink something, brother.
It's perfect when it's warm. But yeah, this is the 2006 Freemark Abbey Chardonnay from Napa Valley. So, you know, very Burgundian in style. Goes through a pretty heavy regimen of French oak. That you know, kind of gives it the nice, rich nuances and flavors.
Eric, is it good though? It's not rotten. See, this is. I just want to know if you learned something from me.
It's not rotten.
Perfect. He did his job. See how that goes?
All right, I'm done. I'm out of here.
I don't even know why you went to school for this, man. I'll tell you right now. It tastes like wine and gets you drunk. There you go.
Yeah. All right, I just want to make sure that we're starting on the right foot and make sure Eric knows what's up. Burgundian style. What does that mean?
Burgundy, French.
Right.
French in style. So, you know, oak with oak treatment, but that's not the main influence. A lot of California Chardonnays, you'll get it, and, you know, it tastes like you're chewing on an oak barrel or a stave. This, you know, their style of wine at Freemark Abbey is they want nice acid, they want fruit, just a little touch of oak that goes into this. The oak is vanilla. If you, I don't know if you smell it or taste a little bit of vanilla in here, but that's the influence that they're trying to get with.
This is a very drinkable wine, man. You know, that light on the nose. The acids are fruit and heavy. A little bit of, I get a lot of stone fruit for some reason, like vanilla and stone fruit. The oaks mostly in the tannics, just means my teeth are a little bit drier than normal. Overall, good food wine, man.
Yeah.
So this is so in Napa, this being one of the older wineries.
Yeah.
Are they setting a standard for everybody else? I mean, I know that Napa goes all over the place. We're getting butter bombs from Napa now, right? We're getting oak bombs, which I'm not a big fan of. And then they're blending wines to try to make everybody happy, which is like around the world. Like what I call a well-rounded wine just means it has a little bit of everything. You know, this wine definitely has fruit forward. This definitely makes a statement. I agree with you. I taste a French wine. I couldn't tell you a region like you can, but obviously it's Burgundy because you just said it. But you know, I mean, what are they trying to do? I mean, is this normally what they go for? Is this their gold standard of like, hey, this is where we want to stand in Napa wines?
Yeah, you know, you can go back and try their wines 10 years ago. And are they going for a house style wine? No, I mean, they get the fruit, they do what they can with the fruit to get the best expression of Chardonnay. You know, the winemaker there, his name's Ted Edwards. He's been, God, I think he's now probably on his close to 30th vintage with Freemark Abbey. And, you know, when you have someone of that, you know, that caliber of a winemaker that's making wine there, it's hard for him to really screw up.
Well, here's what's crazy, man.
I guess
I'm just learning about this winemaker-ish. So I used to think that wine, you just pull the grapes from the vineyard, you put them in the barrel, and then there was like some science to it.
Sure.
But, you know, that as I get into this, the winemaker thing's crazy. It's like the chef of the wine world, right?
Yeah.
So this guy sits around. He's like, I tried this barrel. I tried that barrel. I take a little of this barrel. I take a little of that barrel. You know, next thing you know, this guy, am I right or am I crazy?
Yeah, that's very true.
So like with the prisoner wines, and I don't mean to bring something out. I just know that everybody's familiar with those. I mean, like red blends. I mean, this guy's pulling grapes from wherever.
I'm very familiar with those wines.
Do you know what I mean? He's pulling grapes from wherever. And it turns out he's making this delicious wine, but we're really not. I mean, we're tasting his interpretation of whatever they are, right?
Yes. I mean, you know, back to the prisoner wines, sure. I have friends that sell grapes to the prisoner family.
Right.
And it is a science. It is, you know, how do you make this wine good every year?
But is that a new thing, though? Like, I mean, in French wines, like Chateau Noir du Pape's, right? I mean, I know they have a blender, but it's all coming from one region.
It is.
Right?
Yes.
And so they're like all these grapes from this region, and then they blend those together, and I don't know if they're doing other vineyards or vintages or whatever, however that works. But, I mean, that guy is creating something from one region. Now it seems to me that people are coming in and going, oh, well, we can take grapes from freaking anywhere, and we can take the juice that's been sitting from wherever, whatever we need to blend, and then make a great wine out of it.
Yeah.
Because I want that fucking job. Let's be honest.
I do too. Well, no, I really don't. Because I mean, you know, right now they're going through harvest up in Napa Valley and Sonoma. You don't want to be up there right now. I mean, it's crazy. They're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They get it all crushed. They get it in a barrel or in stainless steel, and then it's a waiting game.
So wait, you're telling me they get to do this for a month and then they get to hang out and taste barrels for the rest of the year?
Pretty much.
Okay, so no, I want to do that. That's what that's what I'm saying.
Is this when I put in my 2 weeks notice?
Yeah, dude. I don't. So that's
I'll give
what
you my
I'm
business card.
I'm trying to figure out how, like, I mean, because I guess, like, and then I'm just trying to isolate who and what does this. I mean, I guess you get famous enough as a winemaker, and then you can just call people and be like, homie, give me your best barrels, and I'm going to blend them. And they go, absolutely. And they sell it to the guy, then he marks it up.
And that does happen, yes.
And that's a real freaking job, right?
Yeah, it's a real job.
So this guy just does it for this winery, though.
This winery, he probably consults with other wineries, most definitely. I mean, that's where you make your money, is consulting with different wineries.
I don't know if that's a good wine, though. I mean, if he's doing it for 30 years, it's got to be like his backbone, right?
Yeah, it is.
But are these getting pulled from one? So I also saw they have like a Rutherford and a Mount Veeder and I believe those are regions, yeah?
Yeah, they're AVAs of Napa and Sonoma and, all over the state of California, and there's AVAs in Oregon and Washington. And,
right, so when they say it's from there, though, he has to blend those grapes from that region, yeah?
75%.
70. Oh, so you can still pull. Yeah. You can still cheat.
You can cheat a little bit.
Hot damn, look at that. There's room for us monkeys yet.
Hell yeah.
We can 25% cheat.
Yep, there you go.
I love it. So he's been doing this for a while. This wine is very complex. I would say this even go with nice steaks, man.
Sure.
This will take butter.
Yeah,
this will take, I mean, obviously I know I pair weird. We'll have to do a whole show about pairing weird food with wines. Yeah. But I mean, the truth is this wine is a dinner wine.
It's got good acid, which, acid is the backbone to the wine.
So did Timothy Leary.
That's over my head. I'm sorry.
Timothy Leary made all the good acid in the world. No,
oh, got it.
Come on, dude. Yeah. I wasn't around for it, but I heard it was good stories.
Yeah, but acid is the backbone of the wine. I mean, that's what keeps wine aging for such a long time. If you don't have acid in the wine, it's going to go flat. It's going to go flabby right away.
Right.
But yeah, with this Chardonnay, yeah, it could pair up well with a steak, something fatty, a nice ribeye or something like that. Yeah.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome, man. I got a question about white wine for you. And I don't know if they do it here, but the term surly.
Surly.
Yeah, always interests me. And for those of you who don't know what surly means, it means that they leave when it's aged. I believe, unless I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not a som. They leave part of the particles from the crush inside the barrel or inside the bottle while it ages, and so it can age differently. Yeah,
it's part of it. Yeah, surly is basically the dead yeast cells that start the fermentation and get the fermentation going. And then it settles down to the bottom of the barrel. And then what they'll do is they'll leave it in the oak cask or the barrel, and they'll go in every once in a while and they'll stir it. Can't believe I'm saying this. They'll open up the bung hole. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Oh, damn.
Don't go there. They'll stir the lees, and what that does is it kind of softens the texture of the wine, maybe reduces some of the acid, but it gives it more of an old world style, Burgundian style, like what we're drinking right here. This wine is 80% French oak,
75% there, 25% cheat. Still good.
Still good.
I love it. Learning things every day.
Cheers.
Solid. So, what do you got to pour off next? Let's go for it. Let's talk about it while we're pouring it.
What is this? The 2013 Merlot from Freemark Abbey, Napa Valley.
So Napa 2013. Now, and I'm learning this as well. So wine, and you're our first wine guest. So I'm sorry if I'm picking your brain a little bit, but I want the listeners to years versus flavor profile. So a 2013. I know that we had El Nino one year. We had. Hold on, I got to finish my wine name. We had a dry year one year. We had a fire one year, right? I mean, yeah. How much does that affect? I hear people all the time like, what year is that, or what is it? And to me, I'm always like, well, I know 14, 15s are what's coming out right now.
Thank you.
But why does this 13? Better?
I mean, certain vintages, there are good vintages and there are bad vintages.
Right.
You want early rain, get the vigor on the vineyards and get some good clusters going of grapes, and then you don't want rain after that. You want long dry spells. You want some heat. Chardonnay, Pinot Noir don't like heat, where Cabernet and Merlot, they like warm weather.
Hence Napa Valley, right?
Hence Napa Valley. Napa Valley, you could be San Pablo Bay, Carneros region, and it could be 75 degrees, and you drive another 20 miles north into Calistoga, and it's 110 degrees. So, Napa Valley, Sonoma, they're very diverse when it comes to weather and the influence on the grapes. But, Yeah, there's bad years, but you know, again, going back to science
Right.
and winemaking, it's, you know, it's hard to screw up.
Right, because you can cheat. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with this, but like,
quite all right.
you're like, hold on. So today it was a shitty year, but we got all these grapes, and we're gonna crush all these grapes, and now we're gonna blend it, and they can blend out a year, right, out of vintage if they want.
They can, but
You know,
it's,
if they need to.
it's not something that's widely done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, wealth and knowledge.
Wealth and knowledge is what we're here for, kids.
Wealth and knowledge.
Well, you ask me, huh?
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, any guy who can hide tattoos for me, I mean, not that, you know, for a long time. It's a true story. I mean, I hate to use that as like any sort of judgment.
That's quite all right.
I feel like I'm doing to you what people do to me when I like go to another state where nobody has tattoos and all of a sudden I'm the weird guy and don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is that guy weird looking at me?
Staring at you.
Yeah. Because I'm the wealth of knowledge.
There you are. So let's get back on subject here.
All right,
guys.
cool. So let's talk about this wine.
So 2013 Merlot from Napa Valley. Merlot, one of the noble blending grapes of Bordeaux, Cabernet, Merlot, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot, Malbec.
Right.
You know, and then you can kind of throw in Carignan or whatever that's in the backyard. But with Freemark Abbey, this is one of the lesser known wines because they're known for their Chardonnay and their Cabernet Sauvignon.
So here's the thing about Merlot, man. How come everybody hates them all the time? How come it's
that
so
movie.
hard?
The movie.
It's the movie, right?
The movie.
Because I really like Merlots. I think Merlots have a place. I think they're kind of the like warm up wine, like appetizer wines, or I like drinking them because I don't like huge tannin bombs in my wine.
Well, if you don't want Cab and you don't want Pinot, it's that middle ground right there. Merlot is that middle ground.
So why the hatred?
Well, you know, it's funny about the hatred of Merlot. You know, it was a movie that came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you know, go back and revisit that movie. The last scene where he's sitting in the diner drinking wine out of a styrofoam cup. You know what he's drinking?
Out of a styrofoam cup.
Merlot.
Merlot.
I don't get it. Right? It's good. I mean, I spend most of my time in restaurants. People are like, "Hey, what should I have that's good with this, or good with that, or good with this?" I'm like, "Man, I've got this great Merlot. Finishes a little tannic." They're like, "Nah, it's a Merlot." Like, hey, snoot ass. Like, it's not a Merlot. It's good.
We are seeing a kind of a upswing in. Here's the salesman pitch right now.
Right.
We are seeing an upswing with Merlot sales happening. You know, I think people are over it and they just want to drink really good wine. And Merlot is that, like I said, that middle ground of somebody who doesn't want Pinot but doesn't want Cabernet Sauvignon. And, you know, it's got tannins, it's got acid, it's got fruit, but it's not something that you're only going to have one glass like a Cabernet. You can have a couple of glasses.
Right. Well, this smells absolutely delicious, man. I'm getting all kinds of, you know, and I'll tell you this time, I get all kinds of fruits on this one. I'm almost getting plums, light cherries, some dark cassis, a little bit just on the nose. I can smell it's probably 13%, 12%.
I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit of heat, but nothing crazy. Yeah. You can tell it's well rounded. I haven't tried it yet, but just in the nose smell of it, the legs are unbelievable. I mean, she's got a great body, man.
You said legs.
She got a great body.
Yeah, I think it's a great Merlot.
It's not spoiled. Just to let you guys know.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a tasty wine, man.
It is. And it's Merlot.
Yeah, too bad it's a Merlot. Really shit all over the place.
That's crazy, right? No, that is a great wine. I mean, you could not tell me that was a Merlot, and I wouldn't argue with you. I mean, the tannics are high enough.
Yeah, I think if you blind tasted this with the average Joe, they would probably pick this out to be a Cabernet.
What's the dryness on the tongue there? What's that dry?
Tannins do that.
Yeah, it's tannins. And tannins are going to come from a few places on my end. Tannins are going to come a lot of times from the oak and the age inside of what kind of oak or the char. Same thing with food, right? You ever had barbecue where they freaking smoke it too long?
Yep.
And that where does that taste? It messes up your teeth, your tongue.
Yeah.
In wine, they figured out how to do it without screwing it up.
Okay.
Most of the time. I mean, don't drink that box stuff like you used to in the studio. But this, you know,
hey, we have a budget.
Box the wine is the best, brother.
Hey, whatever you want to stay with, man.
You would be surprised what I have in my refrigerator right now. So.
Well,
you know, I mean, while this is a delicious wine, I've also heard the rumor that, you know, wine is a lot of what the package says.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I had a guy tell me when I was over cooking overseas, a guy told me no wine should ever be over $10. And I'm like, really? Not over $10? He's like, yeah. So every wine he tried to sell me over 10. I'm like, I'll give you 10 for it. And it was some good wines. But his whole rumor was that, you know, everything else is how we package it or age it or whatever. But the juice itself with bottle and all, right? Your markup's $10.
Well, especially in Napa Valley, there's one region called Oakville, and it is kind of that sweet spot for Cabernet Sauvignon. And there are producers that are selling their Cabernet Sauvignon for $300 a bottle, and their neighbor's selling it for $30 a bottle.
Same hills,
same dirt, same grapes, same style of winemaking. What dictates the price is, do they own the land or does the bank own the land?
Right. Well,
And-
that's why In-N-Out makes money, right? They own the land.
Yeah.
They own the land.
They do whatever they want. I get it. And I agree with you, man. It's the same thing. It's like Temecula. I read a lot about Temecula wines. I hear a lot about Paso wines. And I think what it comes down to is what they're trying to produce for and how and why and what their end goal is. If it's a long-term goal, short-term goal, own land, not own land, right?
Going back to like what you drink and drink what you like.
Yeah.
So when people kind of foo-foo on wine, oh, it's from Temecula, or it's from Paso, or it's from wherever. You know what? It's wine. Just drink it.
Yeah, it still doesn't matter. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gangster style. All right, thanks, guys. This show's come to a wrap. Tony, thank you very much for all your help and putting up with us yet again and trying the nice booze. You guys have a wonderful day. This is the Wreckless Mofo Podcast.